Now, many times I've mentioned on this channel that I believe atheism, new atheism in particular, are dying out. People are no longer wanting to associate with these labels. And I believe there are several reasons for this. First and foremost, the most obvious to me at least, the most obvious reason I believe people are slowly, maybe more quickly, turning away from atheism are because atheism does not help us in any way, shape or form when it comes to us human beings finding answers to the most fundamental questions we ask. As human beings, we have a nature, naturally as human beings, we seek meaning and purpose. Look throughout history. This is the most fundamental driving force of humanity, meaning and purpose. Yet on atheism, as soon as you accept the foundations of atheism, you realize very quickly, if you give it some thought, that atheism cannot give you any answers in regards to the meaning of life. What is your meaning? Why do you exist? What's your ultimate purpose? There are no answers. Hence, I believe, we see this new trend towards, where people who would previously associate themselves with this type of atheism are slowly moving towards and warming towards individuals like Peterson and the likes, because that's what they do. They speak about meaning. They speak about purpose. They speak about living lives, full of responsibility and order. And this is what people want, and this is what they need. Hence, they are moving towards such individuals. And that's one of the main reasons I believe this is happening. But secondly, I also believe people are starting to disassociate themselves from atheism, I think, to some degree, because we've already started to a great extent, but people are moving away from associating themselves with modernist ideals. They're moving away from modernism. And as I mentioned before, atheism and modernism went hand in hand. As Alistair McGrath mentioned in his book, The Twilight of Atheism, he said, atheism and modernity are two sides of the same coin. So they facilitated for each other to meet their objectives. Now, as modernity and modernism is slowly fading and we're moving into a postmodern type of era, atheism therefore is losing its charm. It's losing its appeal. That's another reason. The third reason, or not reason per se, but something interesting that I've noted that I want to share with you guys, that recently I've noticed many people that associate themselves with the atheist label, they are starting to disassociate themselves from the new atheists. They feel that, and rightly so, they feel that the new atheists, such as Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, and so on, are giving them a bad rap. They're giving them a bad look, and they don't want to associate with them. And to be fair, majority, I would say, most atheists out there are not like the Richard Dawkins. They're not like Sam Harris. They're just individuals, and I've spoken to many of these individuals. They're individuals who are very nice people, who, want to do all of the things that all other human beings want to do, hold values which are true to all other human beings. They refer to themselves as secular humanists. That's the label they sometimes even choose to go by, as opposed to an atheist. Although obviously this is another discussion in regards to how secular humanism and atheism, how these two perspectives, is there any way that you can claim to be an atheist and a secular humanist? But that's a separate video. That's something else we can discuss. We have discussed before, and we could probably touch upon later. But they're just simple people who are skeptical, who don't hate God, don't like God. They just don't know. They're open-minded. They want to find out. They want to, may be interested in looking into these things, may not be interested in looking into these things, but they just want to live their lives. So when they see individuals like Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris, who, for any intelligent, rational person, anyone that watches them realizes that to a great degree they may be very racist at times, and not only this, but they're very ill-informed in regards to religion. They don't know what they're talking about. So when they see these individuals as horsemen of atheism, representing the whole of atheism, if you like, they don't like this, and they feel like they're being misrepresented, and this is the case. So I wanted to put this out there because I, for one, don't believe all atheists can be put into the same basket. There are many atheists who are very nice people who are looking, and I would love, and those are the individuals I love getting into discussions with, because they're open to exploring the idea of God and religion, honestly, at least. They may not agree, they may have their own ways of looking at things, but nevertheless, they're willing to engage in honest discussion. Whereas these new atheists, they're just out there to, they're just out there to I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what their underlying motives are. Maybe it's money. Maybe they want to make a bit of money by publishing books which are spicy and, may sell. I don't know what it is. But I think it's interesting to see how, especially now, we're seeing people that call themselves atheists wanting to really disassociate themselves from the new atheists. And to be honest, on the ground, maybe on the internet, you will find people, keyboard warriors who call themselves atheists and new atheists. But the majority of people that call themselves atheists on the ground in the real world, most atheists are not like Richard Dawkins and Sam Harris. They're very nice people. They don't believe in God, or they don't believe they have good reasons to believe in God right now. But then it's debatable whether they're really atheists or if they're agnostic. But that's up to them. It's their prerogative. They can refer to themselves as they wish. But they're really nice people, and they want to discuss. And we, as Muslims, I in particular, love having conversations with these individuals, because the conversations are productive. So I wanted to put this out there. I think it's important to, even for Muslims, I think it's important to realize that this whole perception that, oh my God, Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, new atheism is taking over. It's not. It's actually dying out. It's losing its appeal. So that being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'd love to hear, especially if you're an atheist, or someone who ascribes or calls themselves an atheist, but you're not someone who associates themselves with new atheism, and you actually realize the folly of new atheism. I would love to hear from you in the comment section below as well, and we can continue the discussion there. Until next time, take care.